Hi there. We are here at Deep Ellum Art Company with Sarah Curl-Larson, our first guest curator, to put together the Funhouse Apocalypse Show here at Artco for 2021. We're super excited to have her. And we're just going to chat a little bit and find out what Sarah's been up to.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for letting me do this. Thank you so much for having me. It's been something I've always wanted to do, is put a show together. And I've been showing with you guys since I moved here. So this worked out really well.
Such a huge fan of Sarah's. I love her art. So anyway, we'll get started with some questions and a walk through why we are such fans of hers. So anyway, first off, tell us a little bit about your process. What is that like for you?
So I've been painting for most of my life, but I've been kind of working on this body of work that I'm showing here today since like 2011. I started painting these weird organs and bones and animals and these kind of surrealistic landscape. So I've basically just been developing these worlds and these characters for the past 10 years. So I'll start something and have an idea for another painting based on what I'm working on in the first one. So like some of the work I'll show you later, I can tell you, you can see how it flows from one to the other. You see some recurring themes and some recurring characters. I definitely consider myself a lowbrow or surrealist artist. So I like the character development because it's kind of narrative. I do some illustration on the side, so it's kind of, I like things that tell a story that are a little bit more explicit.
Cool.
Yeah.
When did you discover art?
I have been doing art in some form or another since I was really, really young. I have a very artistic family. My grandma was an artist, so I was really inspired by her. Like, I remember her teaching me how to draw trees, and she would just sketch everyday items. She did a lot of still lives in nature, and I thought she was the best artist in the world, of course. When I was a kid, she was like the most influential person to me. But I started discovering other artists, outside of my immediate family when I was in high school, when I started taking like art classes, and then I took some classes at the the Art Institute of Chicago when I was in high school, which is really a great place.
Where did you grow up?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I kind of got introduced to a couple surrealist artists that way, who I've been like, oh my gosh, this isn't like what I want to do. This is my thing that
I identify with the style.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what brought you to Dallas? When did you come to Dallas?
I moved here about a year and a half ago. My partner got a job here, so we just picked up and moved. We were living in Colorado. That's where we met. Then we moved back to Chicago, and now we are here.
Cool.
So it's been kind of
lucky for us.
I know. It's been all over.
Do you have any formal training? You said you took classes at the Art Institute of Chicago.
And then I went to University of Michigan for their School of Art and Design. Didn't finish there. I was there until halfway through my junior year. I go through creative blocks sometimes, and of course it so happened that when I was in college for art, I was like, I don't like anything I'm making, I don't know what I'm doing. I started taking other classes. I started taking some history and anthropology classes, and I was way more inspired by that. So I ended up not getting my bachelor's in art. I ended up transferring to University of Illinois Chicago, and I got a BA in history and a minor in anthropology. So that's actually been really influential in my work as well. I like the, you learn a lot about human nature, and I think a lot of my pieces, I like all of the octopus pieces are based on these Victorian themes and these like Victorian era ideas about life and women and how people should be, and like it's this very like proper but also really creepy time in our history. So yeah, I don't know, I really like
that's really cool how that you transitioned from one passion to and kind of tapped into another one, and that even though it wasn't art related, that it still has influenced your process,
Yeah.
and that's so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of influences, aside from your grandmother, any major influences or?
So people always like to compare my work to Salvador Dali, which I would never, I'm like, obviously, like, there's no comparison there, but some of the bigger name artists that you would recognize, like Matisse and Salvador Dali, are definitely influential. I really like Georgia O'Keeffe as well. There's a whole group of artists who are showing in these, galleries around the country and worldwide, who are like in the pop surrealist lowbrow world. Some names that I can think of off the top of my head would be Dulk. He's a Spanish artist. He does these really elaborate, colorful scenes of animals, like retaking their natural environments. Oh, cool. He's really, really great. Lauren Marks does these really intricate illustrative drawings of animals kind of in the process of decay and blooming, and they're like super like detailed and realistic looking, but very like surreal and gross and kind of macabre. So there's a whole world of artists if you start like looking around on social media, and that's what I think is really great about social media, is it connects all of us with each other. It connects I'm inspired by people's work that I see.
Yeah, there's, especially now where travel is so limited, we can't get to museums, on the other side right now, and like you said, being able to stay connected to those artists and their craft is really a blessing.
Yeah, definitely.
Of the tech age.
Yes. Yes.
Are you creative in any other ways aside from your artistic passions here?
I love music, but I learned at an early age I am terrible at it. It is not, it's not something I'm good at.
A joyful noise, yes.
But I do some other mediums. I like fiber art, so I do some weaving and embroidery and knitting, and that's more like, it's a little bit more of a relaxing thing for me.
Hobby, kind of relieve stress.
Yeah, I don't ever try and market myself in those mediums, but it's like
an outlet. All the same.
It's tactile. Like, that's what I love about fiber art, is you experience it through touch, and that's so different than like painting and illustration, But yeah, no, it's all visual.
Yeah, cool. No, that's really neat. Let's see. Oh, what do you enjoy most about creating art?
That's a hard one. It's so, everyone needs their passion. Everyone needs something that drives them in life, and this is something that'll never leave me. This is something that I'll never not be passionate about. I sometimes go through, like I said, some creative lulls.
Ebb and flow, right.
Yeah, and I think it gives me purpose, and it's really relaxing once you kind of, like, when I get into something and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, it's fulfilling and it's very relaxing. I can listen to podcasts or listen to music while I do it, and also I don't just enjoy creating, I also enjoy like doing this thing. Like, I enjoy connecting with people, I enjoy trying to sell my work, I enjoy trying to participate in shows and connect with the art community wherever it is.
The whole
I'm
process
living.
around it, not just the actual art. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what advice would you give anyone who's seeking a career in art? Maybe some best practices or some pros or cons to?
It's hard. I mean, it's kind of like you're running your own business, and if you're not really motivated, it's going to be really hard. Like, I'm going to say the usual, don't get discouraged, just keep making stuff, you're going to keep improving. But also, more practically, you want to connect with the community around you and, like, look at what people are doing in your community. So, like, Deep Ellum has this great scene. I think you guys are really at the center of it. It's very lowbrow, like a lot of street art, a lot of graffiti. And if that's what you do, try and connect with the galleries and the places and the people around you that are doing the same things. If you like landscapes, if you're a landscape painter, you look for the galleries and the scenes where you can, like, connect with other artists who are doing the same thing. Maybe do some in-person events. I think pop-up galleries before COVID were super popular, and I love participating in those. Hopefully we'll do, hopefully those will come back one day, but I think the future of art is also doing things online. So if
COVID has taught us anything, it's that our ability, like you said, to connect with one another, and really we've really had to rely solely on, social media to really stay connected.
Yeah.
And I liked what you said, that if you're formulating a career out of this passion, that it really goes beyond just your capacity to create the art. Like, you have to be able to market yourself and, like you said, connect with people, because if you want to get shown in a gallery or all that kind of thing, you have to be willing to
you have to find your niche, your scene, the people who are doing similar things, who you're going to kind of like vibe off of each other and inspire each other and work together. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, this has been fun to chat and get to learn more about you. Thank you so much for your time and stopping by. And we'll take a quick pause here, and then we're going to stay tuned, because we're going to highlight the artists that are showcased in the show that Sarah has curated, Funhouse Apocalypse.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, and we sure appreciate your support of Deep Ellum Art Company and all the artists that we are supporting and promoting. So anytime you purchase something, here she is, you are supporting the livelihoods of local artists and their families. So we sure appreciate
and the
it.
Venue,
And the venue, and that's because we've been shuttered for such a long time. This really has been meaningful for us to be able to stay connected and continue supporting the community while we can't have anybody inside. So anyway, we're super appreciative for all the support we've gotten. And continue to get. This is really fun to have a new show up. It gives us something to get excited about, and just keep this ball rolling. So thank you so much again for your time, Sarah. We appreciate you. Welcome to the Funhouse Apocalypse show here at Deep Ellum Art Company. We're excited to be here with our guest curator, Sarah Curl-Larson.
Hello.
And she's going to highlight some of the pieces that are in this collection.
Okay.
What do you want to start with?
I'm going to start with Bree Smith right here. So Bree Smith is a Dallas artist. You have probably seen her work before. She did the banners that are up around Deep Ellum.
Yes, the Deep Ellum banners. Yes.
I don't think she's ever showed here before, so I'm really glad that I got her on board. I've been a fan of her work since I moved here. She does all these like space ladies, and she does this really cool color palette with pinks and pastels, very bright, very fun, kind of has this like Jetsons vibe to her work. And she's inspired by like futuristic space travel and science fiction, and definitely think she's one to keep an eye out. She does paintings. She also does a lot of works in a lot of different mediums. Over here we have a collage from her.
Yes.
So her work is really fun.
Yeah, I love her colorways.
Yeah,
I love the color palette's really pretty.
She's great. Up here is a piece from Chase Fleischman. He's
another tried and true Deep Ellum Art Co. artist.
So he actually just got done with a show with another artist, Bubba Flint. They had a solo show with the two of them up here. They did really well. It was kind of your first pandemic show that was pretty much all online.
Yep.
So everything is kind of a little bit of a trial and error with everything being online now, but
exactly. This piece is already sold. It was the first one to sell in the show, so that is very, really very exciting. So we're excited for Chase.
Yeah, he does. He's working on a graphic novel as well, so keep your eye out for that. Up top we have Artists Till Death.
Yes, Erica and Jeff from Artists Till Death. This piece is called Sights Seen, and I love Jeff's stuff. He's such a talented creator, and I love his colorways as well. Really cool.
Yeah. Najera is the two pieces you see in the middle. This one is called Drops of Jupiter. This one is called We Hold the Earth. She is a surrealist artist. She's in Fort Worth. She does a lot of these galactic scenes, and she does a lot of acrylic pouring too.
Oh, neat.
She uses that as the backdrop of a lot of her paintings. And she really is inspired by nature. She likes this, I feel like her pieces are very meditative. Like, they're very calm. And she does a little bit of a muted color palette with these pops of color that are really beautiful. Over here we have Alex Hundermer. She is a Dallas artist as well, and she does these really intricate illustrations. You guys have to see this in person. It's so detailed, and it's all pen and ink, and then a little bit of acrylic. So she does these surrealist scenes, a lot of bionic animals. So I thought she would be just perfect for the Funhouse.
Super fine detail.
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah. And then we have some of my own work as well. Over here is a piece I've been working on. I started this right when COVID started, because I was like, I need a COVID project. I need a pandemic project. I have been doing using anatomical, bones and organs in my work for a really long time. This piece over here was inspired by a drawing that I did that I exchanged with another artist. I was just like doodling, and I came up with this the skeleton guy playing the guitar. It kind of, I was inspired by Picasso. You know, the blue period where the Spanish guitar, I think he's called the old guitarist. I was going for that vibe a little bit with this painting.
I'm a huge piece. Not that I would ever not want something of yours to sell, but I'm secretly hoping that it's still available because I'm obsessed with it. I love the colors. The jellyfish especially.
The jellyfish
and
fun.
And the detail of these tattoos. You probably can't see it here, but online you'll definitely be able to check it out. The detail of the tattoos on the skeleton are just, it's amazing. I just love everything about it.
And a lot of these pieces, you really have to see them in person. I don't even know if online will do some of the more detailed pieces justice, and a lot of us put a lot of care into how we finish our work. So if you're interested, you can actually make an appointment to come in.
Yes.
And
masked
see the work.
up, groups of 6 or fewer.
We can do in-person gallery showings as well. So that'll be fun because you don't get the full experience when you're just seeing it online.
And this one is new. I say a new style that you extended the painting onto the
frame,
the frame, which it's amazing. It really, I don't know. This one's super special. This one won't last long, I know.
I hope so. I put glitter all over the frame. No, the glitter is controversial, but I have this glittery Mod Podge that it felt very.
It works. It totally works with this one. Yes.
Yeah. And then of course I did a couple pieces that are just very specific to the Funhouse apocalypse theme. We have a giraffe with a gas mask on.
So cool.
Another pandemic piece, and then a jackalope with a mini bomb. So
much character in these pieces. Just love them.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll be sure to check out. We'll make sure to drop tags for these artists that Sarah has mentioned in the details for the video. But be sure to check out all these artists on the Deep Ellum Art Co website.
Yeah, and we'll have everybody's Instagram tag or handle listed as well, so you can find and follow them on Instagram.
Yeah. And stay tuned. We're going to pop over to the other side of the wall to highlight the artists in that section. Welcome back. We're here with Sarah Curl-Larson, who has guest curated our Funhouse Apocalypse exhibit. And we're going to highlight some of the artists that are in this section.
Yeah. So I have another piece of Bree Smith's over here. Another one of her famous little lady knots. They're so fun.
On an inner tube, space inner tube. It's so fun.
Space. Chase Fleischman has 2 more pieces in this section. This is called Waking Up. I love it. I don't know if you can see it, but he is actually eating somebody's face, this robot.
Yes.
So macabre. I love it. And then this one is called Stand Out. We also have artist Craig Odle over in this section. He, his pieces are called Jumping the Gun and Slippery Like a Fish. He is such a cool artist. He gets all of his inspiration from linguistic idioms, and he'll just someone will say something and he'll get this idea for a scene.
That's clever.
And I love how he does this juxtaposition. I think he does this very like formal landscape work with these lowbrow characters, and he does a lot of these pieces that have this flat cartoon character in with the life, you know, like
yeah, it's very creative.
Yeah.
They're weird and strange and oh so super cool.
I know, we were calling this one this fish looks like Steve Buscemi. It is so cool. He's gotten a lot
I
of
love
really
his
good
style.
A lot of
Very
really
cool.
good feedback. Yeah, this is a piece by Luis Vallejo. It's called Tranquila. He's an artist that has showed with
He's
you
had
guys
some
quite
pieces
a
here
bit.
before. Yeah, excited to have him back.
Yeah, up here is a piece called Opal and Magnolias by Molly Alvidrez. She's an artist who I've actually been following for years. She used to live in Denver at the same time that I did, but I didn't actually know her until
cool.
we were here. She, kind of like in style with Bree, has this really pink, warm color palette, and she is an illustrator as well and an art teacher. So she does a lot of really fun, like she keeps her palette nice and clean, works with different mediums. This is colored pencil, but she also does a lot of work with gouache and acrylic. Definitely find her on Instagram. She's great. I have a couple of my pieces over here as well.
Octopus recurring theme again.
We've
Love
got
it.
land octopus riding the goose. I got the inspiration for that piece because we used to drive by this park every day that has these geese, these like domestic geese, and I thought they were so cool. So one day my daughter and I get out of the car to go introduce ourselves to these geese that we see every day, and they are mean. Oh my god, this goose freaked out and started chasing us. So
You're not the first person to have said that. I've heard stories of mean geese or people getting chased by mean geese before.
They were so crabby.
Well, I'm glad you had that experience because it translated to a really cool piece of art.
It's like, I gotta paint this mad goose.
And squatchy.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, with the garlic around his neck.
I thought I wanted to do something like, you know, Bigfoot's got all this like stigma and this aura surrounding him, but you know, Bigfoot might be trying to fend off some other stuff too. So he's alone there in the woods. You don't know what he's encountering. So we have a couple recurring themes going on with the artist that I really like. We have this futuristic side where Ian Chase's work and Bree's work
and Bubba's with the robots.
And then you also have these artists that do like this natural, like we're very inspired by nature and want to make sure that our art is reflective of how the stewardship that we have over the earth. And I think living through this pandemic has really taught us that we need to be careful about how we treat each other and how we treat the earth, because it's fragile. And you know, being quarantined and being isolated from each other has really taught everybody that we need to, you know, take care of ourselves, find something you love doing, whether it's painting or making art.
A healthy outlet, yes.
Exactly. So I think art's had a really big role in a lot of people's lives throughout this whole COVID experience that we've had.
Amen to that. We all need more art.
Yes.
No, and I love this. I love the colorway in this piece. The trees, like the autumnal colors of the trees, but in his face, there's a lot of character in his face, even though, you know, he's otherworldly, if you will. But yeah, he's really cool.
He's kind of sad. He's pensive.
Tell us who you've highlighted in the center section.
Okay, so I want to just point out really quickly over here, this is another piece by Bree Smith. Her name is Debbie, and we are all in love with her.
Debbie's in the house.
She's kind of just keeping an eye out on everything. She's watching over Funhouse Apocalypse. I don't know how she did this, but this is such an amazing sculpture. I don't know if you can see very well, but she's holding a ray gun. So Debbie is on fire. We've gotten a lot of good reception from Debbie.
When you mentioned that there was an astronaut coming on site, I got very excited.
Yeah, she was like, is it okay if I bring this life-size sculpture? And I was like, I'm pretty sure that that's going to be just
bring it.
Just great. So she's super cool. In the middle is another one of my pieces. This is called Gothic Revival. This is a piece that I've been working on for a year, and then I put it aside and didn't touch it, and then picked it up again and finished it, and I really love it. I love, again, I do the octopus. It's called Land Octopus, so he's making an entrance back.
Perfect representation of Funhouse Apocalypse.
Yes.
I love that this is front and center.
Yeah. And then we have 2 more pieces of Megan's over here on the side. I love these. This one already sold, which is amazing.
Woo-hoo.
Good job,
We love
Megan.
it when that sold.
I know.
Sold sound happens.
Up here is a smaller piece of Bree's. I just love her color palette, don't you? She's so fun.
Yes, super bright. I love. They're very happy.
Alex Hundermer over here. 2 jackalopes. I love the little pops of gold she's got in. Then we were all just loving Craig Odle's piece right here. It's called Let Us Pray. And then,
the lettuce fans in the house are sure to be quick fans of that one.
He is fun. And then one artist that's represented over here is Bubba Flint. So
Good old Bubba.
Yeah, he has been a staple for you guys for forever, right?
Huge fans, yes. Big fans of Bubba.
He and Chase just finished their solo or their show right before we got started, and he does all of these robots. And what I love about Bubba's work is he repurposes all of his materials. So I don't know how he does it, but they all look so polished, but they're just found objects, right?
Yes.
And he did some robots for us for Funhouse Apocalypse, but he does a lot of really cool pop culture icons, and they're all very portrait, very, very lowbrow style.
Yeah.
He's great.
We are big fans of his. And I'm really excited. These pieces are super cool. I think they would be really awesome hung as a trio, on a wall.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And anyway, these are so fun. I love his style.
And then, Carrie, right behind you, we have another
this sculpture.
Piece. This is also Yesica Moran-Estrella.
Dwelling.
This is Dwelling. It's ceramic, and I don't know where she found those bolts, but they're like railroad bolts.
Those nails are... I don't know.
They're serious.
They're the juxtaposition with the ceramic, the very utilitarian and the polished ceramic. I love how
it's kind of got a steampunky vibe to it.
Yeah, they're really, really cool.
Yeah,
I like those a lot, and I love that we haven't had anything by Yesica yet, so this is nice to have some new artists on the premises.
Yeah,
cool. Well, Sarah, we sure appreciate your time. Thank you so much for walking us through each of the sections that you've curated here on the wall. So fun to have this collection on site, all of this beautiful artwork by all of these talented artists. And we appreciate your willingness to take a chance and come guest curate a show for us. This has been a super fun, exciting time. So I'm glad you took the plunge.
I know. I'm glad you let me take the plunge. You took a risk letting me do this with you, and it's been. I think it's going great so far.
We've been huge fans of your work and are excited to see you grow.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for tuning in.
Deep Ellum Art Co. Be sure to check out the website and the gallery wall section for the Funhouse Apocalypse items that are all listed there. And be sure to check out Art Co. To Go. We've got cocktails for purchase, to-go cocktails for purchase, tons of merch, hoodies, t-shirts, and cool Art Co. pint glasses. Anyway, just tons of fun stuff. But keep us in mind for live streams. We have live streams coming up too, and a fun way there's to-go art, some canvases and other fun things to create your own art at home. So be sure to check that out. And once again, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
And be sure to check out Funhouse Apocalypse.
Bye.